presidency, and I want to welcome everybody to a tribute video to one of my favorite professors, Dick Shultz. Dick arrived at Fletcher just a year or two after I finished up my own PhD, and we've been firm friends throughout the course of his 30-plus years at the Fletcher School. I asked to do this video with a picture of a warship over my shoulder, Dick Shultz, so you could remember that the Navy is a big part of security for our nation.
My very first day of grad school at 7:45 a.m., Professor Shultz walked up and gave no introduction. He just went straight into lecture, and I thought to myself, this is what grad school is going to be like.
I think Professor Shultz is one of the people who cares about this institution the most and about his students.
My favorite part of Role of Force was definitely learning about compellence and deterrence, not only because of how it helps me understand the various ways in which militaries around the world operate, but I've also taken it out of the classroom and brought it home, and it now even helps me keep my cat off the kitchen counter.
It's been such a privilege taking your classes, learning from you in office hours, working with you on my thesis. I'll never forget the opportunities that you've opened up for me and how your door was always open for me to come in and chat about anything, including Fletcher Islamic Society things, including the Fletcher Pakistan track.
I now see everything as a revolution of military affairs.
I was so intimidated by the idea of Professor Schultz, but the second day of my class, I remember he came to me, he said, I looked you up, Lema, your background is so amazing. So that's something I will never forget.
Professor Schultz, the moment I knew I was coming to Fletcher was when I sat in on the war course with Caitlin Newberger the year before I got here. Unfortunately, I'm really disappointed that you haven't taught that since, but it's been great getting to know you, and thank you very, very much for all you do to support the security community here at Fletcher.
Unfortunately, though, I felt like you didn't really mention Robert Jervis enough.
How many times I walked in late because it's at 7:45 in the morning.
Oops. Thank you for making me realize security is not my thing. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. You get up at 4 a.m. and go for a run. I really aspire to that. So yes, thank you.
Always down to discuss yesterday's Patriots game or Red Sox game, if you're interested.
You don't remember my name. I'm the guy who's sitting in the back, didn't say anything in class because it's super early. It's rotten.
I don't know too many other professors who would spend 2 hours completing a city exam so for IRB approval so that I could do my research.
Hello? Do you realize it's 7:45 in the morning? I'm in Role of Force with Professor Schultz. We're talking something like just war theory or something. Yeah, let me get back to you later. All right, bye.
Then I noticed that the sound was really close to me, so I looked around, there wasn't anybody there, and then the sound was coming from my bag, and I was so embarrassed, and at this point I actually hadn't spoken with Professor Schultz yet. I had the phone, and I looked up and he was standing over me, and I said, I have never seen this phone before in my life. And then the entire auditorium was staring at me.
The enemy always gets a vote.
The paradigm shift has occurred. Now the war is not what we have known, it is the war amongst the people. What are you reading, Mariya?
Just war theory.
We were talking about the modern state system of warfare, and he said the Europeans said no more Napoleons because he was seen as disruptive.
As the context changes, so do the functions of war and the way we think about them.
War is a continuation of policy by other means.
My favorite quote of all time in Role of Force. Here comes Rupert!
Rupert Smith.
How many authors can we remember, Zaviad?
1,500, I think.
Let's try it. Rupert Smith.
Kenneth Waltz.
Richard Schultz.
John Mearsheimer.
O'Brien.
Kaplan.
Jervis.
Okay, James Stavridis.
Saint Aquinas. Ludwig.
Ludwig.
Give war a chance.
Give war a chance.
Thank you for 30 pages of a syllabus, Professor Schultz.
And he's always there and he wants to know his students. So yeah, thank you so much for the wonderful semester.
Thank you so much for a great semester.
Thank you, Professor Shultz.
I really appreciate that, everything that he's done to support me, and I'm sure other students feel the same way.
Thanks for the 1.5 credit class.
Thank you for a great semester, Professor Schultz.
Professor Schultz, thank you for a great semester.
Thank you, Professor Schultz, for an amazing year. It's been really wonderful, and I can't wait to work with you next year.
Thank you, Professor Schultz.
Thank you, Professor Schultz, for the great semester, great time at the Fletcher School. And I can consider myself as warm-mulled, the term that you like to use.
You've had a really huge impact on my life, and I'll never forget that, so thank you.
Professor Schultz, on behalf of all the fellows, thank you for all your support. It's been a wonderful year.
Your course has helped a generation of Fletcher students be ready for whatever comes next. That's the heart of security studies. We're so proud to have you on this faculty, Dick. Thanks for everything.